Hello everybody, here a new video from Rene from Spain. And this one I'm gonna dedicate it to Aaron, the metal theologian. If you don't know him yet, I will put a link down in the description. I'll put a little link there, and then you can check his channel. You know, he always show a lot of rare items, you know, rare records. And we talked, and of course I know he likes ADX from France, and also Killers. And he asked me to show some of my stuff, or I offered him to show this stuff, you know, that he can see what I own by these bands. Okay, let's start with ADX. Okay, ADX, it's here. Let's start with the records. Execution from 1985 on Devil's Records. Hope you can see it good like this. Here we have La Terreur from 1986, and this one is on Sydney Productions. And I can also open them a little bit. I don't know if this has something inside, I don't remember. Oh yes, this has, for example, the lyrics. And this is the Sydney label, which is quite cool. Let me put it back, I put it just like this. Supremacy, again on Sydney, from 87. You know, these bands were playing speed metal, heavy thrash metal. But in the early days they were more like speed heavy metal. They're from France, and you know, I really love them. Both bands I'm going to show are from France. ADX and KILLERS also from France. Here we have a live album, Execution Public, from 87. This was recorded the 27th of December of 1987. And this came out on Sydney Productions in 1988. And this is a gatefold. See? And from here they were signed to a bigger label, to Noise Records. And they released this one. And this, the lyrics are in English, because the ones I showed before, they were singing in French, and this is in English. This is a record I think everybody owned. It's from 1990, and here they were a full thrash metal band. You know, they left the heavy metal and the speed metal roots, and they became more a thrash metal band. Everybody owned this record, I think. This is my least favorite by the band. I mean, this is true, eh? And then I also own this one. Division Blinded, limited to 500 copies, and this came out in 2008. And this is also a very good record. You know, they went back to the roots, and here they were singing in French again, and this is a very nice release. And I also own this live album. This is another live album. When they came back, they started playing live, and they recorded one of the shows. And this came out in 2001 on X-Killer. Because for years they split up. You know, in the 90s, most of the 90s, they were gone. And later they came back and they released this live album. And also I owned In Memoriam. This is a kind of a best of. Okay, that's why here we have a lot of great songs. Also some are live, and of course some are studio tracks. Okay, this is what I own by ADX. Then by KILLERS, my KILLERS collection is not complete, but I will show you what I own. We have Fils de la Haine on Devil's Records from 1985. This is a pure heavy metal record, it's so good. And these guys also started like a heavy metal band, with some speed metal touches, but later they became more thrash, you know, they started putting more thrash metal influences in their music. They become heavier. I had a chance to see these guys live, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. I was quite lucky there. See, this is another record. This is on Dream Records. See, there's a nice inlay here. See? See, on Dream Records. See? Okay. Then I'm going to show you some CDs. Danger de Vie by KILLERS, 1986. Only this is a re-edition that came out in 97 on Brenus Records. Then I have Resistance. This is from 1989. Cites Interdite. I don't think I say it right. This is from 1992. Here we have a live album, Enemies and Public. Another live album, Paris Metal French Festival from 2008. This came out in 2008 too. And one tape, Habemus Metal. This is official release on tape. See, this is no bootleg. This is an official release. Okay, Aaron, I hope so you like my my ADX and Killers collection. And I also want to show some stuff I've been playing lately. Because I've been on an 80s kick. So I've been rescuing a lot of vinyls from my collection, records I didn't play for 10 or 15 years, and I start playing them again. You know, I didn't really remember them very well, and now I realize, I mean, they're all killer records. So I'm going to show first the Damien albums, a nice US metal band. This is their second album from 1989. And this came out on Mondo Music. And this is actually a promo copy. See? And this is a promo also. Oh no, this one no. Sorry, this is a promo, yes, but this still has a label here. You see? But I own this one too. Every Dog Had His Day. This is their debut album. And this one is again a promo for promotional only. And also, see, it's a totally white label. There's nothing on it. See, it was quite nice to have this in my collection, and the records are great. I mean, the songs are amazing. There's actually 2 video clips on YouTube that you can see. One is of the song Every Dog Has His Day, and the other song is Breakout. Sorry, Breakout. Breakout and Every Dog Has His Day. You can check those video clips on YouTube, and they're quite cool. Also, this guy's released a 3rd record. Look if I can find it quickly and I will show you. I have it on CD. It never came out on vinyl. Let me see here. Damien. Yes, here. They also released this record back in 1995. Still a good one. No alternative influences, nothing like that. Still a good CD. But the first 2 albums are better. You know, I think if you're if you like early Hex before they became a thrash metal band, or you like Phantom, you know, also a US metal band, very good one, or the first Hitman album, I think you will like also the 2 Damien records, and maybe this one too. Okay, I've been listening to Metal Lady, Hungarian band, of course, with some Pokolgap members plus Metal Lady. You know, she was not really into metal, this girl, but of course they put her together with these Pokolgap guys, and they released this album. It sounds very much like Pokolgap. And she also made a 2nd album that I own on tape, but that's more hard rock. But this one is pure heavy metal. I listened to the Mass records, see, that I own. Again, I didn't play them for a long time, so I'm happy with that. Then I also listened to Antics. This came out on Enigma Records. And also this record came out with a different cover, a slightly different cover. Instead of blue, it was black. And that came out on Heavy Metal World Records. But this one is the Enigma edition. See, and this is nice, hard and heavy. Now, I don't know if somebody remembers the band Weapons. They released some cool stuff. I mean, they remind me very much of that. And it was produced by Don Dokken in 1984. Then I listened to this album and I completely forgot how good this record is. I played it for the last 2-3 days, like 4 or 5 times. Everybody should check this out. AF Band, One Night Stand. This is the 3rd record by them, and this came out in 1985, and it's just a masterpiece. I mean, I love this record. Of course, this band was from Sweden, but they were very popular in the UK back in the early 80s, and that's why they put them always together with the new wave of British heavy metal. You know, they mixed them with the British bands. And also they had a drummer, I mean, not on this release anymore, but on the early AF Band singles and first album, I think. they had a drummer, and he was from Britain. You know, he was living in Britain. That's why this band spent more times in England than in Sweden. You know, and they're just a very cool band. And I think the drummer of this English-British drummer, he was a family member, I think a brother, of one of the girls from girls' school. This came out on Mausoleum Records, you know, the Belgium label. And then I listened to Mad Max. It's always a fun record to play. Okay, this was everything I want to show. I've been playing some other stuff here too. You can see some records I put out here for you to see what I've been playing lately. All 80s stuff for the last 5 or 6 days. Sometimes it's like that, you know, you get a kick and you only want to play that stuff. For sure next week it will be again more 90s or 2000 stuff. But for this week I'm going to stay with the 80s. Okay, stay heavy everybody. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. I have 835 people that are subscribed to my channel. Thanks to everybody. Thank you.